Hey guys, welcome back to the Horror with your hostess with the mostest, Jenabelle. As always, welcome back and thank you for checking me out. Hope you guys are doing well today. I know I am doing wonderful. Just got off of work. It is a beautiful day outside and I just took my little peanut for a walk, so it is a great day. Before I get into my video today, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update on not my channel, but another channel. So CJ, for those of you who may have known him from his previous channel, CJ's Creep Show, I guess that is no longer in existence for whatever reason. I'm not sure. But he does have a brand new channel. He's still talking about horror movies and stuff, still does horror packs and stuff. But that new channel is called Ministry of the Grotesque. So please, go check him out. Like I said, he just started doing like a brand new channel. Like I said, I'm not sure the reason why, but go check him out. I believe he's more into like indie horror and stuff. Check him out. Really, really knows his stuff, into his stuff. So yeah, go show him some support and stuff. A really cool kid. I've been kind of watching him for a while now. So CJ, it's for you, my man. It's for you. So anyway, so what I'm going to be doing today is not quite a review. It's like a partial review, but I'm going to be kind of trying something. I think this is definitely something that I might be doing from time to time. Trying to branch out my horror channel a little bit. Still talking about horror, but what I think I'm going to be doing is talking about like horror sequels that I personally enjoy. Now, I'm thinking I might do more of like the sequels that that I personally, really like, that seem to sort of maybe not, I don't want to say get a lot of heat, but maybe not necessarily overall the fan favorites, but definitely not like the worst one of a franchise. Like I know, for example, I did Halloween 3 a while back, although Halloween 3 I feel like has definitely kind of has gained its own audience over the years and everything. But my first kind of like official venture into this is going to be, as you couldn't tell by the title of this video, it's going to be Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Now, this one, I know there are people who enjoy this one, as well as people who are, like, not the biggest fans of this one, which I respect. And that's why I was kind of like, not necessarily one that, like, people totally bash all the time. Like, when I think of, like, a movie, like a franchise installment of a movie that I just, like, a lot of people are kind of justifiably, like, dislike, something like Halloween Resurrection, like, maybe I'll do a review on that one day of just being like, this is why I hate it, and, whatnot. So whatevers. But today we're going to be talking about Freddy's Revenge. So obviously this one I definitely do enjoy a lot. And obviously there's going to be spoilers in this, so if you've never seen this one here, I mean, you've had like 30 years to like check it out, unless if you're like 12. You've only had like 12 years to watch it, but so this one, known as like the gay Friday the 13th, which kind of rightfully so. And keep in mind when this one came out, I mean, it was only the second installment. We didn't have the rest of the franchise to kind of like really compare this with. So honestly, I kind of like what they did in this one. This one has always kind of stood out for me through my life. Even when I was a kid growing up, I was like, not even like really understanding some of the stuff in it, especially like the gay aspect of it. I always kind of liked it because it was so different from all the others. I mean, like the New Nightmare one, that's very different, but I feel like that's much more like a grown up type of sequel, little more sophisticated. This one still aimed towards like the teen audience and everything. And I know something that this one really gets kind of like a lot of flack about, and for some reason, I don't even really ever think this when I'm watching this sequel. This installment is that pool scene, that infamous pool scene where Freddy comes out, nobody's sleeping, and people are like, well, how can he be there if no one's asleep? Well, I've put a little thought in it. Nothing that I put like major thought in, but I think this is the reason why, I've never really had that problem of like, dude, he's there when everyone's awake. Keep in mind that this is the movie where, Freddy is trying to kind of, use Jesse's body to, kind of access the real world. And obviously I know for most of the movie, when like Jesse falls asleep, that's when like Freddy's kind of like trying to break out of him, or when his friend Brady falls asleep, actually, no, they're both asleep in that scene, but like, he comes bursting out of like Jesse's body and everything. And like, I've never really thought of it as being like a continuity issue, because in my mind, I was like, well, yeah, he became Jesse. He's using Jesse's physical body that's here in the present. And, like in the previous movie, like if we're only looking at this one and the first one, like not, acting as though the others haven't existed at this point, when you think about it, like in the first one, Nancy pulls out the hat, when she wakes up. So I feel like rightfully so, when Jesse kind of like wakes up or whatever, like say, even if it's in the middle of the transformation, well then, yeah, he's going to obviously bring, like the Freddy form out because he's woken up and he's in the middle of the transformation. I think that, like, does that make sense to you guys? That makes sense, right? So I guess like for me, I've never really had an issue with this movie about that. So you figure by the time the pool scene comes, Jesse is awake, Freddy's already taken over his body and everything. So, and people who kind of argue that, who are like, well, no, everyone, that still, like, he only exists in the dream world, you're still justified. I think you are justified. I think you got a point on that. But that's just my take on it. That's why I've never really had an issue with that pool scene. But yeah, like even now with all the movies that we have in this franchise, in the Nightmare franchise, I still say that this one does stand out in a pretty positive light. Because number one, especially in the 80s, you didn't have too many male leads in a movie that were supposed to be the female, even though Jesse's character definitely is more of like a female character, has the female qualities and stuff. I think works. I like it though. And then obviously you have Jesse's girlfriend, in there, and she's a little bit more of like the male, a little bit more of like the male lead. But I feel like you had to do that just to kind of like balance it out a little bit, or else I feel like if you would have had like two very feminine leads, maybe I shouldn't have said feminine, but that's too. I know the actor who played Jesse in real life is actually gay, although I feel like that really doesn't even need to be like factor into this movie. But yeah, like this one just, I like it. I do like it. Like I said, I understand why people don't like this one or don't favor this one as much, but because like I obviously I like Nightmare 3, which I think literally almost everyone and their mother loves that sequel. It's very hard to kind of argue against that movie. But I know there's some people out there who don't like number 3. I respect that once again. But overall, even when it came out in 1985, Still feel like it was a pretty good movie. You know, this one too even has like a few scenes that I still to this day I'm a little like creeps me out a little bit, like that bus scene where they're like teetering on that big old like needle point and stuff. Just every time I see a bus, literally, like I know you guys could hear, I'm like right across from a school, and it's like every time I see like a bus barreling down, I'm a little that Freddy, that Freddy. But yeah, decent little sequel. I like it, even with like the whole kind of like gayness about it. You know, that's the other thing too. Like I know in the documentary, the Never Fall Asleep Again, they even kind of, and I kind of agree with this. Like they, even though I feel like they knew what they were writing with this, they kind of denied that they weren't really that in tune to it. It wasn't supposed to be so direct. They knew what they were doing. You know, but I like that they did kind of have those gay tones in it and everything. Because I mean, this was, you know, the 80s. We had AIDS. You know, people were definitely, you know, like the 70s. Obviously, people were kind of, you know, definitely coming out a little bit more. And I feel like this is where a period of time where it was starting to become a little more accepted. It was a little bit more like, oh, it's not just whatever. A little more accepting in the 80s. But yeah, I just Freddy's Revenge definitely. Like I said, I feel like it you know it gets some hate, not as much hate, not as much hate as other installments, whether it's this franchise or even other franchises. But I still just feel like it's still a bit underrated. I feel like people don't quite appreciate it quite as much, but then again, I could be wrong. So, but yeah, so that is why, like, I like this one. Obviously, it's not like my favorite sequel, but it's probably in the Nightmare series. I would have to say that this is probably like number 3 for me, my third favorite. Obviously, the first one, the first Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite. Third one's the second. The second one is the third for me. But yeah, decent little one. So what did you guys think? You know, whether it's the kind of pool scene that I brought up or anything else in this movie that maybe really makes you appreciate this movie, let me know because you guys always know I am up to hearing your opinions about stuff. And I'm sorry, like, I don't know what's going on with my bangs. I keep looking at that and it's driving me nuts. Sorry. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think of this. What moments in this movie did you really, really enjoy that made you really love this sequel? What are some of the things that you may really not like about the sequel? Because once again, you guys know I love to hear your thoughts on this stuff. So, but anyway, guys, once again, thank you for letting me express my opinion about this. Thank you for watching me. Don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel if you are new to my channel. And definitely do not hesitate on giving me some likes or giving me some feedback, you guys. Or just give me your opinions, whatnot. Till next time, you guys stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.